Hello. El Yeti está en mute, pero el mío no está en mute.
Ay,
No se
ahora sí.
preocupen.
Sí, oye, y lo acababa de decir.
Exacto.
¡No te olvides el
No
mute!
te olvides el mute. Saludos a todos. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this new podcast, which is called Catching Up with the Universe.
Yes.
Y we're really excited to be here en esta nueva etapa de Legacy Universe. Ayer hicimos el debut with Cuphead, which we finished. We beat the devil.
Ay, Dios mío, sí.
We showcased our new overlays, our new setup, y it was a great stream. Y lo más importante es que terminamos Cuphead y no tenemos que preocuparnos más nada. Mute.
Bro. Sacho,
saludos.
No fallo.
Saludos a The Sparrow Wolf, Lord Mimi, Whitey, Metaverse. A ver si me falta alguien más, espero que no.
Okay.
Esto va a ser algo similar a TOU Let's Talk About It, pero en vez de enfocarnos en noticias full del entretenimiento, tienes que bajarlo porque me escuchas.
Ya.
Al garete. En vez de enfocarnos en noticias nada más, vamos a estar hablando de qué hemos visto en la semana, de cosas en la vida.
Cosas en la vida.
Temas que surjan y es como fluya. O sea, vamos a fluir por una hora y con ustedes, con la gente que está en el chat. Y este podcast va a ser bisemanal.
Yes.
Bisemanal. So, cada 2 semanas van a tener un podcast ahí donde vamos a estar just talking about it, talking about what we saw, talking about life, temas que surjan. Y si hay una noticia que es bien impactante, pues obviamente la vamos a hablar, pero el punto es tener una conversación entre nosotros y con ustedes, así que...
Sí, y normalmente pues lo teníamos semanal, que era como estaba antes planificado. It was, pretty much...
Bendición.
bendición.
Olafo 421.
Ahí está.
Uepa.
So, voy a poner las entradas ya mismito, the entrances, pero that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make this one bi-weekly para que diera más tiempo a respirar, more space to breathe the topics and all that. And I'm still struggling to where to put this microphone, but it's a learning progress cuando son dos.
Sí.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out. But
we're trying to
it's
achieve,
a lot. We're trying to achieve something here.
This, pero que yo tenga un igual. Y para que se vea, porque yo le había enseñado en YouTube a un par de personas que tenían como un concepto así, similar.
Pero it's still about the technicality, todo está en lo técnico.
Exacto, exacto.
Pero si alguien tiene algo que decir o tocar de los temas, algo que está pasando, como sean, también lo pueden poner ahí. Pero our goal es dentro de 1 hora, y si nos pasamos a 1 hora y media y más nada, porque lo que queremos es que sea corto, suficiente, y para que ustedes también no tengan que estar tanto tiempo aquí.
Y también,
si el contenido es bastante bueno para ustedes,
exacto,
pues,
si
you guys want to
si se
stick
entiende
around.
porque la conversación está buena, y me voy a meter un montón con el micrófono así. Sí, vamos a hablar de eso, Metaverse, lo vimos.
Yes.
Pero ahora que Metaverse escribió, le quiero dar las gracias porque él me envió lo que es Anchor.fm, así que este podcast también va a estar disponible en audio, luego de lo que estamos... de que se vaya live, o sea, lo publiquemos, y también va a estar disponible en nuestro Facebook, va a estar en YouTube con unos clips y en todas las redes sociales, así que estamos súper bien. Hello Photo Hut, how are you?
Photo Hut.
The Suicide Squad, también vamos a hablarle ya. Motu Revelation.
Photo Hut, how are you?
How are you, Photo Hut?
It's been a while.
Welcome.
I still remember you were the 100th follower.
The 100th follower. Photo Hut right there is the 100th follower. Bendición, tío Juan.
Yes.
Está por ahí. Shocktober.
¿Cómo estamos? Before we continue, it's been a while. Where y'all been? Well, it's been a while. We've been doing a lot of stuff.
This is why we've been absent. The overlay, the setup, we've been working hard to
scheduling, trying to fix it, organizar el schedule. A lot of things have been going on. But this is going to be, just for those who are coming in, this is just going to be a podcast free of, we can talk about absolutely anything. We're going to try and limit a little bit of politics. Like, we don't want to really dive into politics. That's a sensitive topic. And, it's there's always sides. You know, there's never a win-win situation, and you always have to respect everybody else's opinion. But you know,
can you talk about the Cuphead game? We actually finished it yesterday, Photo Hut. We beat the devil after almost, I think it was 2 hours.
What? You got Clemente?
Qué lindo se ve Clemente en mi lineup. Just saying. Ooh.
Dios mío. Jeez. Anyway, before we actually continue,
hay que traer a Tío Juan para que haga un podcast de MLB. Porque ahí...
Antes de eso, mano.
Y a papi, ¿verdad?
Sí, un podcast de MLB. Bueno, mi gente.
¿Quién más? ¿Quién más? Por ahí está la ambulancia.
La ambulancia, que siempre me están buscando.
El de Mami, el Mimi ya está.
Estoy muerto y resucité.
Que es el mismo de Olafo.
Yeah.
Así que estamos GG,
So
estamos set.
Anyway.
Mira, tu mamá nos tiró una pregunta. Hablemos de la película Vivo. ¿Qué les pareció?
Okay, so primero Metaverse empezó.
Ajá.
So we gotta talk about that. Pero vamos para allá. Okay. What If? Has anybody seen? ¿Han visto What If de Marvel? Si han visto What If de Marvel, if you guys have seen the What If of Marvel, salió hoy, it released today. I believe
Disney Plus.
In Disney Plus at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Only the first episode, solamente el primer episodio.
Yo creo que a las 3 de la mañana es que sale.
A las 3 de la mañana.
¡No!
Ok, pues mira.
Ve, porque What If lo que pasa con What If es que es muy reciente.
Muy reciente, What If.
Literalmente salió hoy, a las 3 de la mañana.
So, vamos de atrás para adelante. We're gonna go back for... Okay.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Okay, no spoilers. Okay.
Por eso.
We're gonna go with no spoilers.
Sí.
Pero, you want to start off?
En general.
En general. Yes.
Bueno, el primer episodio, I loved it. Y I'm fascinated with the animation. Me acuerda mucho a los juegos estos de... ¿Cómo se llamaban los juegos de PlayStation que tú escogías? Telltale.
Telltales. Oh,
A eso me acordaba.
Telltale Games.
Sí, a eso me acordaba mucho.
Wow.
Y lo más brutal que yo encontré del episodio es que son 33 minutos, pero se sintió como una película. De principio a fin. Ojo, es que Metaverse vive en Speed Force. Ya tú sabes.
Yes, he lives in the Speed Force. He definitely does.
Yeah. Pero yeah, I thought it was a great episode. I enjoyed it. It felt like a movie. Y me puso a pensar mucho, literalmente, what if?
What if? That's what it is.
I was gonna ask you though. I have this curiosity. If you would, y I'm gonna ask the chat this as well. El chat también. ¿Cuándo salió What If? Salió hoy.
Salió hoy. It was today at 3 a.m.
3 de la mañana.
3 a.m.
Porque ahora Disney Plus saca todo lo que es...
La mayoría de los
miércoles. El
miércoles.
Jagger Season 3. Ya él sabe toda la información. ¿Tú sabes qué? Yo creo que el Metaverse es el Watcher.
En serio. Sacho.
Mira, Metaverse es The Watcher. Y no... y no lo sabemos. So he knows everything that's gonna happen in What If. Pero te pregunto a ti, le pregunto al chat. Si tú tuvieras a The Watcher in your life and he would give you a glimpse of something that happened in your life and what if you made a different choice, would you see it or no?
Okay, repeat the question. Repite la pregunta porque I need to be clear on what I'm about to say.
La pregunta es
okay.
Que si tú te encuentras con el Watcher
if I found the Watcher
in real life, if you would bump into him and he's like, oh, I can show you a moment from your life.
By the way, for those who don't know, the Watcher is the one that actually watches absolutely everything in the multiverses.
And he tells the story of...
At this point. He's the author.
Yeah. If you would bump into the Watcher and he would say, oh, I can show you a glimpse of your life, how it would have been.
Of your
life.
Of how it would have been.
How it would have been if you would have done something different in that moment.
Okay.
Que básicamente eso es lo que pasa en este primer episodio. Tú ves la cosa que causa el cambio.
So the question is, if he would tell me, hey, I can show you, te puedo enseñar a glimpse of a different choice, a glimpse of your life, how your life would have been if you'd made a different choice, would you want to see it? Okay.
Y to answer Photo Hut's question, Yes, because that's why he's called the Watcher. He explains it in the show. He only sees.
Exacto.
He doesn't touch. He doesn't change. He just
watches everything.
Presents. No es el de cultura secuencial, chacho. Él tiene que estar gozando porque él tiene un personaje que se llama el Watcher y él está como que ya él tiene el cosplay de Halloween.
Pero photo hot. Yes, he why show me then if it can't change? Yeah, exacto. So he can't change it.
Pero that's the thing.
He just sees everything. Pero only the comic books can actually show you por qué.
Yeah.
Like, why would he just watch and not touch anything? Which, en este caso...
But that's another part of the question.
Because...
It's different if you want to change it or if you only have the curiosity to see it.
Sí, pero that's the thing. So, to me, the Watcher is like a god. Okay. The Watcher is like God because of the MCU, because he makes everything and lets everything happen. He does not get involved. That's why free will exists, because you're allowed to do absolutely anything you want, and I gave you the power to do so. Now, there's like positive and negative. That's why it's like the yin and yang theory. Like, there's always something to counter you at one point in life to create the balance. Whatever that balance is, cualquier balance que sea alrededor tuyo, I think that's what he is. But now, to answer the question, what I want to see, si yo quisiera ver el choice, that how my life would have turned out if I made a different choice, I would say no. Definitely not. Yo no quisiera ver what my life would have been if I made a different choice, si hubiese hecho otra decisión, because that would drive me insane.
Right?
I would become regretful.
Because you can't change it.
I would be regretful. Yo estuviese rogando. I would be damning. Or, you know, maybe in a different way, I would be happy maybe if things would have been worse. Pero it would drive me insane, because now I would be extremely too careful to make other choices. Yeah. I would say, then I want to see if you say no.
If you say no.
I would say no.
I would say no too.
I would definitely say no.
Yo
hubiese dicho que no.
Yeah.
Y yo creo que también un par de gente aquí in the chat also said...
Whitey says no.
Whitey says no. Whitey is smart. Sparrowwolf dice que te puede dar Metaverse Load 9.5 no es tan fácil, papi. So, I would have said no. Would anyone else say no in the chat? Porque honestamente, I would... ¿Quién dice que no? ¿Y quién dice que sí en el chat?
Exacto.
I would have said no. Definitely.
Que yo me hubiera hecho cuando vi el lagartijo en vez de gritar
Vete
as he does on the street. So Metaverse is asking what would have John done when he saw the ¿cómo se dice lagartijo?
The lizard.
The lizard.
Yeah.
And would he had reacted like differently or still screamed solo diría tijo.
Tijo. Oh my god.
Because if you guys don't know, John has a fear of lizards, and we were playing Cyberpunk one day here live, and there's a huge lizard that happens or is shown at the beginning of the game, and he freaked out. Like it's clipped here on Twitch if you want to check that out. On Twitch, and it's on YouTube too, and on Facebook. It's everywhere.
See it, just look for it.
Yeah.
If not, if somebody that already knows, si alguien lo sabe, just put it on the chat, and then everybody can just enjoy my misery right there.
Yeah.
Pero yeah, I would say no. I would have definitely said no.
I would say no too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at this point in my life, what about a gecko? No. Nada. No lizards.
Nada.
No lizards.
Zero.
No lizards.
I don't like lizards.
Okay, I want to mention, we're going to talk about Vivo, pero we were seeing Vivo, and there's a scene where you see, there's una gallina de palo, vamos a ponerlo así, a lizard, and it's animated, and he was just like freaking out. Déjame, I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to read Sparrowwolf's comment right there, but I would say no, because I just feel that at this point in my life, I've never felt more like myself because of everything that's transpired in my life.
Yo creo que you were about to break my heart, pero go.
No,
in a good way, like, oh my god.
Like, I was like,
that's
how I feel. Like, you know, you can think about, what if I did this differently? What if it wouldn't take you to, it wouldn't, created the path that it created for me. And nowadays, I just feel so comfortable with myself versus when I was in high school, when I was, starting out in college, which I was extremely shy. I was very quiet. It was very hard for me to like interact with people. And now I can't shut up when I'm talking to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. I think What If, even though it's an animated show, it does present like an interesting perspective on, hey, check this out, what do you think, what if this might have happened? And it's more feasible because we know that the multiverse exists in the MCU, but in real life that's just like, nah, I wouldn't fuck with that.
Y yo creo que esto es más para las personas que han tomado malas decisiones y su camino está on the trash can. Like, this is more for people that, not the show, but in terms of giving you a choice of would you change your path, is people that life are in the dumpster, like destroyed. So if I was that type of person, I would say yes, show me, but show me only if I can make that choice again, and if I can change my life.
So you want like a Christmas Carol effect? You know, the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
You see the whole future, and then at the end it's like, but you get a second chance.
Exactly.
Pick the gift, and then you pick the gift, and you go back.
I don't want that.
Yeah, I feel the same. It was just an interesting question that was like, running in my mind. But I'm gonna read Sparrow's comment. He says that he thinks that a good response to this question is tied to some similar as to what I said, to the moment in the life that you are currently in. If you are happy and aware of your decisions, good or bad, that those decisions actually brought you to your reality nowadays, then more likely you're gonna say no. And I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Exacto. And then you can read that one.
Super fun. But if your life was miserable, having a glimpse of how it would have been happy, pues, the risk is worth taking to try and improve it and to just bounce back from it. So we agree.
So we're on the same page.
We're on the same page.
Basically.
Definitivamente. So, and then Whitey says here, we make our present day by day, and the future is never made, only your present. You made the right or wrong choice.
That's another thing.
That is my mom. Right there.
That's another thing.
We have
this conversation. We have this conversation all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's like it's the equivalent of like when you go and you watch somebody's content and you don't like it, you're like, oh, I don't like your content, and we're always saying like, listen, you chose to click on that video. You chose to go to YouTube. You chose to go to Instagram. Watch that profile. Mío. Nobody is forcing you. You don't have a contract with like any of these companies that force you to actually go in. And then just go in and say, like, I don't like your content. It's like, cool. There's like 20 other pages that you can check out.
Why do you even have to write that down? And that's the thing. Esa es la cosa. Con solamente no ir. Let's say, tú compras una taquilla para ir a una película. You buy a ticket to just go to watch a movie. And you complain about this movie is trash. Te queja, and then, it ends up making more money than it should have because of the story. But whose fault was that? Hubieron trailers. There was a lot of trailers for you to see that the movie was either trash or really good, and you went and
you made the
choice to give him money.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's your choice. You make the choice to write a comment. You make a choice to go out the door and then just talk to people. Be happy, be sad, try and be a different person. Everything is your choice.
Yeah. I agree on that. And also Sparrow Wolf says that it also depends on the how you were brought up, I agree as well.
How you were raised, yes.
If you're taught to own your actions, then good or bad, you will value each step of the way. I completely agree with that.
Completamente. So, just to say a little bit about What If, because
this is what If causes, guys. And this is Marvel characters. It's not even real life.
Todo lo que estamos hablando is because of What If. Everything we're talking about is What If. So, What If pretty much presents exactly that. It shows, le enseña al público, it shows to the public what would have happened if Steve Rogers wasn't Captain America.
Yeah.
So I want to leave it with that.
Exacto.
And it is amazing. Todo lo que está pasando is everything is amazing. So we don't know if this will tie into the Avengers, which at the end of the show, I'm assuming we will see all of it, porque todo esto es basado en, we are going to see the entirety of almost the 20 movies into a crunch of 33-minute episodes, which it felt like a movie. O sea, de verdad, it was great. Like Captain America, the first Avenger, that lasted 2 hours, We saw the opposite movie
in 33 minutes.
In 33 minutes.
It was mind-bending. I was
Estaba brutal. It was like, whoa.
It ended and I felt the same effect as if we went to a movie theater and like the movie's ending and you see the credits and I was like...
Now, can anybody that has not seen the Marvel movies see this? I would say yes. Hi, Bipolet.
Hi, Bipolet. What's up?
I would say yes. But those who have seen the movies, todos los que han visto las películas de the Marvels, from Marvel, will get a better feel of what this show means. Now, nobody's, incompetent enough to not understand what if is why is the title what if, what if is actually that. Y lo mejor que hace este show, the best thing that the first episode at least does, is that the watcher explains exactly what this show is going to be about.
Exactly.
So it is either you can take it as a different reality that exists, or literally what the title is, what would have happened if this existed. Yeah. So you have to take this with a grain of salt if you feel offended that Steve Rogers is not the Captain America, because it's not real.
Yeah.
But that's the fun of the show.
I really think that they're doing this just to see which storyline. This is my perception, because the only trailer that I had seen was during the Investors Day, and that was kind of it. Because I'm not too fond of movie trailers nowadays. I think they spoil too much, or trailers for shows, etc. My perception is that they're trying to showcase different storylines that are presented in the comics.
Yeah.
See which one gets the most response, and possibly, maybe, de alguna de esas, they might make a film or a series in Disney Plus. That's how I see it.
Yeah. And then I become War Machine.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know. New characters. Disney. I'm here.
Right? I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see the T'Challa episode.
Yes.
Because I love Black Panther. I love Black Panther.
¿Verdad?
Sí.
Él parece que va a ser Star-Lord from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sí.
Like,
I mean,
like
creo.
that.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's weird. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. What If, mi gente. Vayan a ver What If. What If just is right now on Disney Plus. Se las recomendamos bien duro. Todos los miércoles, every single Wednesday, What If is going to be out at 3 a.m. in the morning. Great show. Great kickoff. I love it.
I'm really excited for it. Yeah.
So, what is next?
Bueno, Wairi nos preguntó de Vivo.
De Vivo, uff.
El T'Challa es el próximo.
T'Challa es el próximo. Ok.
¡Qué bueno!
No spoiler. No spoiler.
¿Verdad que mira a ver si ya vio los primeros 3 episodios? What if I don't have Disney Plus? Hey Bambi, what's up?
What if then the alternate is you don't see it?
You don't have Disney Plus? Oh my god. Hey, Disney Plus is good. We've been watching a lot of stuff.
Sí, mano, we've been watching a lot of stuff.
I'm seeing like old school Disney Channel shows. I already saw Lizzie McGuire. I'm about to finish That's So Raven, and we're watching Raven's Home, which is great. It's great.
Like the future of how como Raven, is a mother en el futuro y has kids of like 13 years. They're twins.
Gemelo, sí.
And Chelsea's there.
And Chelsea,
la mejor amiga está ahí.
Who also has a son and is also divorced. They live together and it's great. So
it's great.
Mano, I would say try Disney Plus. Yeah. A mí me gusta Disney Plus un montón.
Ahora, Vivo.
You want me to explain? ¿Y para cuándo Robin Hood? Diablo, sí. Yo nunca he visto Robin Hood.
Soon.
I've never seen it.
Well, I'll show
the animated film, I've never seen it. Robin Hood, no.
Pero Vivo, I can start it off. Vivo is a film that is on Netflix. It was actually written and, of course, the songs were written by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Bobby.
For those who don't know who Lin-Manuel Miranda right now, he is the #1 creator, artist, tratando de push through the Hispanic representation. So there's something real quick that I want to just say. Es que there's some hate. Hay un pequeño there's some hate that comes from also the Hispanic community towards Lin-Manuel Miranda, which I don't get. I'm still trying to figure that out. Y maybe you know, there's just small people here and there, pero
Yeah.
I don't understand why the hate comes like that cuando he's still representing. Like,
Yeah.
even though he is, you know, oh, un Afro-Latino is missing here and there, mi hermano, mi hermana.
Nobody else is
Bro,
making
there's like
projects
20
like he is.
different Hispanic directors that have not put one Hispanic actor in their films. There's a video out there
Oh, on TikTok. I showed
on
him.
TikTok.
That's true.
Y yo lo busqué. I was looking through. Y yo como que, it's so true. Y este hombre que, this guy that just, you know, blew up because of the Hamilton show, he's representing
Yeah.
a
I agree.
lot. Did he miss maybe one Afro-Latino here and there as a principal? Sure. You know, maybe the talent wasn't there. Pero, come on. Come
And
on.
I think we talked about this the last
What if I'm
episode of TOU Let's Talk About It. And he said, nope. I've tried it. I would say no. Not going back to that.
Yeah.
But I think we talked about it on the last episode of TOU Let's Talk About It, where I was so disappointed and surprised with all of the hate that In the Heights got. Because In the Heights for me is such a special film. In the Heights was a film that we went to see it in theaters, and it rocked my world, because it's all about the main story, or the main theme in it is change your perspective.
Cambia la perspectiva.
Cambia la perspectiva. Y me impactó tanto la película, porque it was these you know, characters, Latinos, who were dreaming different things. They were struggling for different things. Some of them wanted to leave, some of them wanted to stay but move further in New York City, and it was mind-blowing, and I was really disappointed with the hate. Y para mí es una de las mejores películas de este año. I didn't expect it either. Exacto.
Obsession.
Y we were watching Vivo on Friday, and I told John, I was like, I don't care. And I don't understand people that hate on this guy, because he's
doing what no other.
He's so creative.
Yeah.
His songs are so creative, and
I really wish so much that everything that I'm working for as an actor, I can land something of his. Porque yo quiero estar en la presencia de ese hombre trying to help his people out as much as he can, because mi gente, like, also you gotta understand, and sorry for cutting you off, you gotta understand that even though he is helping us and representing Hispanics, he still works under a studio, under a big house. Claro. In terms of, you know, production. It's not only him. So he has to fight against producers, production houses, bosses, to actually push through more representation, or more of what he wants and comes from the heart. And not just him, every single production has to push for something, and you got to go against the studio, you know, or be in favor of the studio. So, you know, there are some things here and there that se tienen que soltar un poquito aquí y allá, pero he's doing it. So
it's like how I always say, uno no sabe lo que está en la olla, menos el que lo menea. That's just it. So we don't know what goes into these productions and these meetings with like different companies and stuff like that. Pero I really think he's very creative, and I think he's doing a lot for the Latino community that I don't see. And Vivo is just, this is a Netflix one. He has one for Disney. He has one for Disney called Encanto, which since I saw it at the investors meeting or the investors day at Disney, I was like, I am watching this film. I am watching this film. Now, the only thing that I'm waiting for is like a Puerto Rican musical. Or a musical based on Puerto Rico or in Puerto Rico. Con los taínos, con lo... ¿Qué es lo que a ti te gusta? Se me olvidó el nombre.
¿Qué? El Vejigante.
Con los vejigantes, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So he's slowly touching every territory of the Latino community, because this was Cuba.
Esto era Cuba, sí. Esto fue basado en Cuba.
Yeah.
And, you know, Vivo, pretty much, the story behind Vivo es que hay un hombre en Cuba que él normalmente every single day goes to the plaza, a la plaza, y va a cantar su melodía con acompañado de su monito que se llama Vivo, chimpancé, pero se llama un...
No, es un...
Rikachu.
Kinkajou. ¿Qué?
Es un Kinkajou. Rikachu, Sikachu, Fukachu. So, es un Kinkajou, which is... Now that I'm thinking about it, es como que una mezcla de Pikachu with a rat.
That is true. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Pikachu.
So it's a monkey y de Pikachu.
Sí.
Entonces, este Kinkajou is Vivo. And Vivo always in the plaza is always singing with him, and the man's name, I forgot the main character's name. I mean, el señor
no
que se
André.
muere. Andrés. Yes, Andrés.
Kinkajou kind of sounds like a kinky Pikachu. Oh my god, wow.
Yes, he does.
Sí, Gloria Estefan también sale en esta película.
Entonces, Andrés, who is an old, a musician, always goes to the plaza and sings with the Kinkajou. Ahora, gracias, Pipolen.
Sí.
At a moment, he gets a mail. Delivered to his local post office, and the mail is a letter from his previous love of his life, who he never got a chance to actually express his feelings to, which her name is Marta, which is played by
Gloria Estefan.
Yes. Now, Vivo is played by lin-manuel Miranda también.
Claro.
Like, Vivo is lin-manuel Miranda, which is fantastic. And I'm sorry that if I don't remember who actually played the voice of Andrés. She might remember, maybe not. I apologize.
Yo creo que es Juan Alonso,
sí.
Algo.
So, during the midst of this, there's a letter that she asks Andrés to sing a song for her final show in Miami, and they live in Cuba right now. They live in Cuba right now. So the journey is of Vivo trying to get this song to Marta so that she can sing with Andrés. Now, there is a twist in the film that I'm not going to tell.
No.
But there is a sequence of music numbers that are amazing, musical numbers. And then you get along, you get to see new characters, animals, but there's one very good song that I freaking love, and that we sang yesterday. It's called My Own Drum.
It's called My Own Drum. And it's performed by the character of Gabby, which I have to say, Gabby is my favorite character in the film, because I was watching this film and I told John I would give anything to have seen an animated film with a character like Gabby, because Gabby is me. Gabby is
el
me.
Personaje de Gabby es
Yo soy Gabby. Desde chiquita hasta ahora. O sea, una cosa que I would have given anything to see something like that when I was a kid. She was my favorite character, honestamente.
Thankfully, gracias a Dios, I wasn't fully Gabby, but I also was. Porque I was fortunate to have good friends, but I knew how to differentiate the wrong ones from the good ones. En mi tiempo, as a teenager, and going through middle school and high school, and in elementary school, I was bullied. Y mis padres no llegaron a saber esto hasta más después. But that's part of the reasons why at one point, which is another topic for another time.
Yeah.
Yo tenía, ¿cómo se le dice a esto? How do you say this? I was very aggressive all the time. I would, blow up in the classroom screaming, burst in rage. Y, I had to take, pills to control myself and all that, but then I stopped. Porque yo fui desarrollando el pensamiento, I was growing, my family, slowly but surely knew exactly what was happening. So, but anyway, that's why I feel like Gabby is probably the most relatable character in the entire film.
Yeah.
Not to say that the others aren't, because, you can relate to the situations, or you can relate to the characters themselves. If you're, a middle-aged or, a senior person. Pero Gabby is right now almost everybody at one point in your, young years.
Y she has, Dios mío, que era lo que estábamos hablando, que ella tenía, que era igual que yo. Era como que ella sabía hacer las notas de música, pero cuando las cantaba, No era precisa. O sea, precisión era...
Coordinación.
Ella no tiene coordinación y yo nunca he tenido coordinación. Yo cogía clases de baile con John y me decían, dale para la derecha y yo para la izquierda. Que parecía... ¿Tú me entiendes? Y cuando yo vi a Gaby, yo le dije a John, yo le decía a John, that's me. Como que mi percepción es difícil. ¿Cómo te digo? Se me hace difícil, pero la creatividad la tengo. Es que, tú sabes.
Estaba brutal.
Pero I loved, Manny, la canción, her song is the best song in the whole movie, in my opinion. In the credits, there's actually, it's a remix with Missy Elliott, que Missy Elliott para mí, growing up, was like una de mis raperas favoritas. Yes, it's super cool because she's still, around. Y Whitey dice aquí que vivo, the meaning is everybody lives in your heart. Y that is so true.
Sí, mano.
Y esta película me hizo llorar un montón.
Yeah, that's
and I was not expecting. I mean, you know what? Animated films, I'm expecting
eso ya. Eso no,
lo que es Pixar.
No puede, you can't really expect nothing less
Pixar
than
es el capitán de ese barco.
Your emotions being destroyed or, reliving certain memories when you watch animated films like that. So,
se me fue el micrófono. I'm so sorry. Mi botella. Ya, mejoré. ¿Viste? Gaby salió ahí.
Yeah. So, Vivo, it was fantastic. Y a lot of what you see in the film is memories of what you might have gone through when you were young. Y how you're developing como persona, how you're growing up as a kid, how sometimes certain parents can't understand what you're going through. So and they live by the expectation of, I'm the parent, I'm right, I know what's right for you. Exactly. Which most of the time they know, but there are certain moments where we also assume.
You gotta know when you're stepping on that line. You
gotta know when you have to just listen to your child and know exactly what's going on. And no parent is perfect, but they do the best that they can. And gladly I had great parents that understood me. My mom is always there, supporting and watching, and she's always listening to everything I say. So as an adult, ya como adulto, nos entendemos extremadamente muchísimo, like a lot. We understand each other so much now that I'm an adult that I really don't hide at all anything. Porque
that's
como
true.
Que now we're just two adults speaking to each other, and she's my super best friend. So sí. I got my other super best friend. And my family are my best friends.
Mano, qué cosa que...
Family.
Sí, a la madre. Mano, qué cosa que... Cuando... Tú sabes, you go to high school, you have your friends, you go to college, you meet people, you have your friends y todo eso. Pero, isn't it funny que, at least in our case, as we've grown as adults, we're more closer to our parents. Como que la pasamos más con la familia.
And that's,
y ese es nuestro círculo de amigos.
Eso es una bendición. That's a blessing, because most people, when they grow up into adulthood, they separate themselves. Y no voy a decir, there was a point where I did separate myself from my parents. Porque I was trying to find who I was, as an individual.
Yeah.
And future parents, and even us, tenemos que entender, we have to understand que eso, at one point, that might come through us as well. Our kids will want to, separate themselves from us to a certain point because they want to discover who they are on their own. And if they're meant to be back on your side, it's not, living with you, but closer emotionally and in communication and understanding, they will. Because I did.
Yeah.
You did.
For sure.
So Vivo does that. Vivo did that.
Yeah.
It makes you think. Te hace pensar y te hace ver cómo son las cosas. How you really should appreciate as a child and as a parent.
Y how you should appreciate your time. Y, mano, si tienes que decirle algo a alguien, díselo.
Please. That's the key, man.
If you have to tell something to somebody that you feel that's important, even if the result is crappy, and it's not what you expected, you should never stay with the what if, no pun intended, in your mind.
Never live with regret.
Exacto. No estés como que el resto de tus días pensando, diablo, si lo hubiese dicho esto, if I would have, said I love you, o esto y lo otro, porque va a llegar un punto que maybe it'll be too late.
It always is. Yeah.
That's what Vivo made us think. Pero it's a great film. I think que Lin-Manuel Miranda está killing it en todo. He's currently writing also a new musical, which is going to be on Broadway. He wants to bring In the Heights back to Broadway. So, bro, do whatever you want to do. Porque I will watch anything and everything that you do, honestamente.
I just wanted to add, quería añadir one more thing. And it's not only for things that you need to tell people that you love or, whatever. It's mostly even on your life. Do what you have to do and don't wait till tomorrow, man.
Sí.
No esperes a mañana. Don't wait. Like, you always hear these things. Oh, don't procrastinate. Don't wait till tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow.
Mano, porque
se te acaba el tiempo.
Tú haces así. Mira, tú haces... Y ya pasaron 5 años.
Yeah, time flies by, man. Y yo aprendí eso even before Vivo. And Vivo reinforced it. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with my, acting career. Hopefully, sigue... incrementando. It keeps growing the way I want. The channel, a lot of more stuff que nosotros queremos hacer. So it's hard work. Sometimes you lose sleep because you're thinking about it too much.
Yeah.
And you have to find that balance. It's hard, pero you really don't want to live with regret, man. You don't want to live with regret.
Yeah.
No quieres.
Y es como dice White aquí, que es una gran reflexión. It's a great reflection. So if you guys want to check out Vivo, it's on Netflix. Do so. You will enjoy it. You will laugh. You will cry. And it'll make you think a lot. So.
Sí.
Yeah.
Bro, es una cosa espectacular. But, other than that, was there anything that
Me sigo dando con el micrófono. Sí. No.
¿Algo más que tú querías tocar?
Bueno, we saw the Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad. We kind of
okay. So we have
the squad that is suicidal.
For those of you who don't know, we actually have a new show with Puerto Rico Comic Con, which is called Reload. We were trying to talk about it on Friday, but it was too soon because we actually saw it on Thursday, even though it came out on Friday. But it's been almost a week, so I'm guessing that the majority of people that are on this chat have seen the Suicide Squad.
Todos han visto Suicide Squad.
So if somebody doesn't want any spoilers, let us know. We won't spoil it for you, or try as much as we can.
No, we will talk about it.
But yeah,
if you haven't seen it, what's the matter with you?
Yeah. So it's actually available on HBO Max and in theaters, and it is directed by James Gunn, who was the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2. Got fired, and then now he's directing Volume 3.
He got fired? No.
Yeah, he got fired from Disney.
And that's why he took
the Suicide Squad. And then he came back to, now he's doing
they rehired him.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
And this is a question for you. Do you think this is a reboot of the Suicide Squad, or do you think it's a sequel of David Ayer's?
It's a sequel and a reboot.
Okay.
Porque it's just a straight up sequel because it still follows the story. Sigue la historia de los personajes que the first Suicide Squad movie presented.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're separated. It's a straight up sequel. It's just with a different perspective, more freedom, and a different view.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I really freaking enjoyed this film so much. This movie, you have to treat it for what it is.
Yeah.
It is a Suicide Squad. You got the worst criminals and the most dangerous criminals in Gotham City or any city whatsoever, anywhere, and they're just going crazy. Why he says reboot? It could be a reboot.
It could be. Es que it depends. Lo que pasa es que the only way I can tell you that it might be a reboot, si en algún punto Suicide Squad is not on HBO Max, you will know that it's a reboot. because it's happened with The Mummy, for example. They only have The Mummy, the second one, and The Scorpion King. The Mummy 3 is not there. And and they have the Batman versus Superman, the director's cut, not the original cut that we saw.
No, they haven't.
They haven't? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's the director's cut, yeah.
Unless they took it out.
So, if at some point you do see that David Ayer's movie is out of HBO Max.
Oh wait, you said Batman v Superman.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, no,
Yes.
it's Perdón, yes.
Yeah, they have they have the director's cut. They don't have the cut that we saw in the movie, like the final cut.
Yeah, I thought you were saying for some reason the Justice League. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Justice League. You have the Joss Whedon one, and you have the Zack Snyder one.
Sí.
So I think if at some point it disappears from HBO Max, it might be considered a reboot. But we have to see, because a lot of people are asking for the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. Question for you: do you want to see that? Y al chat, ¿ustedes quieren ver el cut de Ayer?
Honestamente,
Porque ahora my thing is, like, everybody wants to jump on that boat now. And I have a director's cut. I'm like, okay, cool. Everybody has. Toda mi vida, everybody has had a director's cut.
Everybody has had a director's cut. That's the thing. There's always a director's cut. It's just the final touch is done by the editor. Y tú lo ves. Honestly, yo no pierdo. Us as human beings, as the public, we really don't lose anything by getting another version of the film. Mm-hmm. We really don't. Now, the ones that do lose by revealing the other cut is the production company themselves. Mm-hmm. The reason being is because they bent over too much for that request of almost every single director, and they lose credibility. So I'm not trashing absolutely anybody por lo que voy a decir by what I'm about to say, but why didn't you get it right the first time? Now,
that can be a tricky question, though.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I was about to say that is a tricky question, because studios have their hands on it. You got the director that has their hands on it. Now, when the director has their hands on it, and then they blame the studio, or vice versa, who do we believe?
Because we're not there.
Because we're not there in the creative process. No estamos ahí. We're just the viewers. Mm-hmm. Now, if a movie of mine, let's say I'm in a protagonist, or I'm the co-star or whatever supporting actor in that film, I know what I'm going to be filming. Mm-hmm. I know my scenes. I know what I filmed. I will only know what made it into the movie when I see the full, length of the 2 hours of the TV show that I'm filming. Mm-hmm. So whose fault would that be? Mm-hmm. It could be. I mean, it's not a fault, but who made the choice? Was it the editor in the end? Because the editor is the one that has the most power in there. Now, creative process, a director is also added into it. But the production house or the company itself, la compañía como tal, también puede poner, it can actually add on to that. Mm-hmm. But that's why the actor himself has to really separate from that process. Porque there's so much involved.
I agree.
That you did your job, and the public, el público, will see that when you do your acting, when you do your line, and when you do a bad job, it can be blamed on the director on how you were directed, or it could be blamed on you, or you acted bad on the script, or this
on the editing.
So the only way that people will know is if they've seen you in other stuff and you've done good.
Exactly.
But for an upcoming actor that you've never seen him do anything else but this one thing, that can destroy your career. Mm-hmm. So there's so many factors que también I would like to have a conversation of that at one point, of how, an actor can rise and fall from certain things, and the creative process of certain things. Pero ultimately, lo que queríamos decir era que everybody has a different cut.
Yeah.
So if the company lets you publish it, si la compañía te permite zumbarlo por ahí, sure.
Yeah.
Do it. But why is this happening almost 5 years from when it actually did?
I know.
Because it's a different thing lo que pasó con Zack Snyder, which he was literally going through traumatizing things.
They butchered his vision of the Justice League.
So there was so many things.
Release the Milton's cut. I bendito Milton.
Release
for Milton. Who's Milton?
Yeah. So he was literally going through some traumatizing stuff. His daughter passed, the mental stress. Ben Affleck was also going through. It was a mixture. So so that esa cosa ahí, that thing right there, that cauldron. That cauldron right there was actually already messed up. So it was
ese toilet,
ese caldero was already excused. So that I understood. That right there I understood. The Batman v Superman cut, the the Justice League's, the Snyder cut, I understood. But now we're getting requests of other cuts and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh my God, wait for the DVD, because the DVD also...
Hasta los videojuegos. I'm really sorry, pero es como que, okay.
So it's weird. It's weird.
Why don't you just call it special edition of the game? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I don't mind it because I don't care enough for it. I don't care enough to say, oh, why, boo. But I care enough that, okay, it's another film in the library of whatever streaming services they put it on. And then I'll click on it if I want, and I won't click if I don't want it.
Yo creo que
simple as that. It doesn't do anything in my life. If I see it, amazing. If it sucks.
¿Tú sabes qué? ¿Tú sabes qué se me ocurrió ahora? Yo creo que el título de What If se lo debieron dar al DCEU, no Marvel. El DCEU tenía que sacar un show que se llama What If, y ahí tenías el Snyder Cut, el Ayer Cut, el Patty Jenkins Cut, el James Wan Cut.
Oh my God.
Y es como que, what if this was the movie that you saw at movie theater?
De verdad, en serio. What if this was the movie?
Instead of the one you got.
Oh my
what
God.
If? ¿Ya?
Problema
resuelto, que Disney le venda los derechos en nombre a Warner Brothers.
Hey guys, again, and for the production companies right there, listen, we're not really trying to trash.
We're joking.
Right? We're joking, but it's everybody has a story to tell, and someone has their own version of what goes on anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why there has to be a leader. A leader makes the choice, and that's it. Done.
Yep.
Whatever happens. If it works, you're praised. If it fails, you're booed, you're trashed.
Saca más dinero que Marvel. Eso es otra. Okay, lo que pasa es que the whole thing with the director's cut, I kind of miss when they would create a DVD and you had the director's cut in the DVD. Ahora es como que this whole separate thing that they need to market it, they need to promote it, o sea, estamos en un mundo que tienen que sacarle dinero a todo, porque esa es la realidad.
Yeah.
O sea, tú sabes.
But it's not even the money. It's like the credibility, like I said before, the credibility on production companies will continue to falter, will continue to break.
Yeah.
So, and look, the Suicide Squads, didn't make much money because, personally, I think it was a bad choice for it to be released on HBO Max, for them to gain that money. And I understand that the virus and things that are happening here and there. It's a weird thing to try and accommodate, but for them to get their money back, it's gonna take a lot. Now, unless they were depending on already the subscription service money that they already had, that's a different story.
Pero lo que pasa es que en HBO Max, The Suicide Squad it was streamed less than Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is still the most streamed film.
But did it come in theaters at the same time?
No, pero que te estoy diciendo que en el debut, o sea, tienes que verlo de esta forma. Mortal Kombat is a franchise that a lot of people know, pero The Suicide Squad ya es algo que es del DCEU y es una película que they marketed. Usaron un método de marketing bien heavy en esa película que you should have gotten certain results.
Yeah.
Acuérdate que Mortal Kombat literalmente yo creo que un mes antes dijeron, oh, this is the Red Band trailer, estos son los character posters, vamos a lanzar la película. y vamos a ver qué pasa.
Pero no me recuerdo. Did they actually release it in theaters at the same time?
Sí,
or was
Mortal
it-
Kombat. Pero lo que
Okay.
pasa es que,
Okay.
acuérdate que when a film releases simultaneously on a streaming service and in the movie theater, if the movie theater aspect doesn't make a lot of money, they go to the streaming aspect of it. Entonces, The Suicide Squad fue un underwhelming opening para ellos. Pero en HBO Max también, porque it's still behind Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is the most watched film of 2020.
Wow.
So that's where the conversation lies on this whole streaming / simultaneous release, porque la gente dice, pero la vieron más en HBO Max, pero The Suicide Squad did not have that on HBO Max.
Wow.
So, quiero leer
Honestamente, yeah, we're gonna read
el
Metaverse
Metaverse.
right now.
Te leemos ahora, Metaverse.
Pero, mano, honestly,
That's
for
interesting
those
to
who
me.
haven't seen Suicide Squad, please go watch it. Honestly, but go watch it in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
It is so worth it, man. It is a very enjoyable movie and the one that you would never expect it to be. Honestamente, it's
Yeah.
really enjoyable. It's super fun, and you honestly don't need a Cinderella story or a heartfelt story behind it, porque each individual character, James Gunn made you care about every single character, and then I was gonna say something that was spoilers,
Exacto.
pero he said, él lo dijo, do not
Get
attach
attached.
yourself.
There's a poster.
any character.
There's a poster with one of the main characters que dice, "Don't get attached."
Don't get attached.
Literally. Pero
Yeah.
Pero yo estoy de acuerdo porque for me, he made a character as silly as Polka Dot Man.
Mano, I freaking
He made me
love
care for that character.
Polka Dot Man. Dato.
Y
you know
visualmente,
what?
como él logró que ese
Yes.
personaje, o sea, que se vieran sus
And I
poderes.
gotta give it to the actor as well. I'm gonna look at him up.
Mira que ese
Porque-
actor, el actor que hizo de Polka Dot Man, si ustedes buscan la carrera de él, ese tipo ha salido en todo. Ese tipo ha salido en todo como un secondary character, como un extra, como en una escena nada más. Y el tipo tiene una clase de carrera. Él ha estado en Marvel, él estuvo en un show de Hulu, ¿verdad? Que se llama Reprisal, que lo vimos.
Reprisal.
Que me encantó.
He was in Batman.
He was in
He
Batman.
was in Batman.
He was in The Flash, ¿verdad?
He was in The Flash.
Papo. Dasmian,
Déjame ver.
¿cómo se llama? Dasmian.
Polka Dot Man. Dasmian, the actor. I want to get the
Míralo ahí,
actor.
David Dasmalchian. Abajo.
David Dasmalchian.
Yeah.
This guy, this guy as an actor, I freaking love him. Porque I see him in every single thing, and in every single thing that he does. He was in Gotham as well.
También.
And every single thing that I see, and he has a contract with Warner Brothers. Pretty much.
Y con Marvel también. Él
With
no,
Marvel.
él no sale
He
en
doesn't
Ant-Man.
attach to anything. Oh, and Ant-Man too. Oh my God. See, Beth?
Brother, este tipo.
David Dasmalchian. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last
Sorry.
name, pero man,
You're awesome.
you're awesome.
And he's so.
I would love to work one
and-
day with you, man.
Manny, me encanta que él es tan
in
weird.
Any project.
Me
I
encanta
hope.
que él es tan awkward y weird. Como que
Yes.
it works in everything that he's. Como que he's the weird actor that's been casted well.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna keep talking about him. Pero,
Ya nos
real
fuimos
quick,
overboard. Ya estamos a la hora.
Pero let's read Metaverse's comment here. Aquí él dice, Metaverse PR menciona los videojuegos es otro tema. Video games are another subject. El ejemplo ahora mismo está por salir Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, pero es porque en un año de release de la versión original no le pueden llamar remake o remaster.
Entiendo.
Menos si, como en este caso, es una versión enhanced del juego con un DLC extra, pero el juego sigue siendo el mismo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
This game is, then that's very true.
En resumen, dice Metaverse, en resumen, WB tiene una mala administración y no ha sabido manejar lo que es DC. So he's saying, Metaverse says that he thinks that WB has had a bad administration and they don't know how to manage DC.
DC.
Yeah.
And the Ghost of Tsushima thing is that there's a title called Ghost
Yo
of
no
Tsushima.
sabía eso.
Yeah.
Yo no sabía eso.
Yeah. El what?
Que no se le puede llamar a remaster version
Yo,
porque
no.
no ha pasado ni un año de que salió. Okay.
Yeah. So Metaverse also says here,
Suicide
Suicide
Squad.
Squad para mí fue average. So para no verla, la casa fue mejor y que gastaría el dinero en la entrada. Yeah. See, you know what, Metaverse? I understand what you're saying, but I also disagree. Because if you're gonna feel like that for every single film, then you probably were never gonna watch any film in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the ability to watch it at home, so why would I go and watch it in the theater? Watching it in the theater is about the experience. It's about supporting not just the studio. You're supporting the actor. You're supporting the producer. You're supporting the director on a good job done. And to be quite honest, any movie, almost, I'm not gonna say any movie, but almost any movie that has been shown on film is it's hard work. Mm-hmm. And I've been there as an actor, and I've seen it. So this movie wasn't even bad at all, and close to being butchered how people are doing, for it not to be considered a good film. You know, and that's just my opinion. Pero
y por eso es que that's why Scarlett Johansson is actually suing Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, actors don't get paid for
streaming services
releases.
Inboxes.
Yeah.
I mean, inboxes.
Inboxes.
Streaming services box office. Yeah.
You know, sí, no se ganan por lo que hacen en
so,
streaming service.
Por ejemplo, if you said you saw, you know, Suicide Squad en el streaming service, right? Y qué bueno que you're saying, oh, it's good because I saw it there and I didn't lose money. You're still losing money for, you know, paying $9. If you said it was an average film and not worth seeing it on film on theaters. But how many films have you gone and watched that you feel like you've lost your money, but you still went because you wanted to feel the experience of it? You know, there has been probably one Marvel movie or one DC movie outside of that that you felt like it was going to be good, but then it wasn't that much of a big deal and you lost your money. So, tú puedes perder that feel of enjoyment, of excitement, by just using the streaming services as an excuse to just sit home and just watch any movie. Honestamente, it's very convenient for one's personal thing. Es muy conveniente para uno mismo just sitting down on the couch and watching a film. Pero you know, the supporting of and the experience aspect is still there. You know.
Metaverse dice, no, claro, pero igual maybe hubiera salido más desilusionado porque la vendieron como la mejor película del DCEU y por lo menos para mí está maybe en el top 10. So he basically said that he was disappointed with the film because it was being sold as the best DCEU film.
Yeah.
But he considers it to be good for like in the top 10 of DCEU good films.
And
eso
y te voy a decir,
eso yo lo entiendo.
I agree with you.
Es el hype que crean, es el hype
before,
que crean.
Yesterday we were saying like, oh, it's like the best movie of DCU, and you were saying it. Yeah, that was the hype actually, you know, getting in there. But in reality, it is not the number one film of DCEU.
Yo creo que Spider-Popo fue quien lo dijo, porque Spider-Popo dijo, en historia, Wonder Woman es buena. En drama, Man of Steel, y es como
porque
que...
we still have The Dark Knight.
Chacho.
We still have Batman Begins. We still have, you know, Man of Steel. We still have Christopher Nolan films in general. We still have Watchmen. You know, we still have a bunch of films that didn't have the DC tag like it has now. Like it's very in your face. Like, oh, it's a DC Comics
Constantine,
film.
Como dijo Sparrow.
Constantine is a DC film.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic film, in my opinion. It's a great film for what this character is. He's in the DC universe. A DCU de Man of Steel hasta ahora.
John piensa lo mismo.
I agree with you right there, Metaverse.
John piensa lo mismo.
Man of Steel was the homecoming of Superman.
I can appreciate Man of Steel because Man of Steel made me actually like Superman.
Sí, son tres.
Ay, me asusté. Growing up, I wasn't a huge fan of Superman porque era como que too goody two shoes. Ay, soy Superman. I'm all good. Y a mí eso me revienta. Pero Man of Steel le dio ese darkness y ese depth al character que necesitaba. So, yo entiendo por qué es de las favoritas.
Y Metaverse dice, Batman, Nolan y Constantine están por encima del DC.
Claro,
Batman, Nolan and Constantine are above DCEU.
Hacho.
With respect to the company, I'm going to say it is their best comic book films.
No hay quien le llegue a las películas de Christopher Nolan
so
de Batman.
far.
I'm so sorry. No hay quien le llegue todavía.
It's just
Epa.
the attention to detail that was put into how grounded these films are to put them close to reality are the best ones right there. Now you get out of those like Batman of the Nolan's Batman, Constantine, then you get Man of Steel. Then you come across those ones. Now I really want to see, you know, still the Batman, which is, you know, the new Batman from
Robert Pattinson.
Si
no la atrasan otra vez.
If they don't delay it again,
Sí.
and from Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
And I'm not disregarding Ben Affleck's Batman y todas esas cuestiones from Zack Snyder, but yes, it is a very hard conversation. But those films that were not forced into any universe, but still belonged to the DC world, that's why they're the best. Because it was attention to detail and only care for that and that alone. They weren't pushing to mix here and there with these films. And the thing is that, mira, we weren't also in there, but Marvel had a plan drawn for the longest time. When did we? Who knows when when the Warner Brothers actually started this plan? Now people will mock and say, "Oh, like today they made it up like today, and then today." You know, they might make fun of that aspect, but when you compare how structured the comic book films from Marvel are and the universe in comparison to DC and Warner Brothers, you can see the difference. Now, can they create something great? They still can, but it's up to them. And you know, it's
que
you know.
no hay. Somebody has to, you know, take charge and steer the boat the right way. Eso es todo lo que puedo decir.
Yeah.
Porque es complicado y para mí lo que hizo Christopher Nolan, porque Christopher Nolan usó los cómics. That was his base. Pero él dijo, how do I take this and I make it practical? Que Batman en vez de tener un Batmobile, he uses an army. Y tú lo ves y tú dices, mano, it's so true.
Yeah, it's not even
es
called
como
the Batmobile.
Exacto.
It's called the Tumbler.
Exacto.
They never say it's the Batmobile. It's the Tumbler.
Exacto.
Because it's a tank. He needed that to survive. So it's like, es más, las películas animadas están mejor que todo el DCU. Habiendo dicho eso, how can you
make good animated movies y cagarla tanto en live action? How? Dice Metaverse. Bueno, Metaverse, ¿tú sabes cuál es la diferencia? Pienso yo. I think it's a budget thing. Y
you don't have to wait for actors.
Tienen todo ahí, se pueden concentrar mejor
like
en la historia. Y entonces, animated films es como que they can actually expand into how many... Como Batman The Long Halloween. We saw the first part. I'm so excited for the second part. Pero the first part es exposición. O sea, they're showing you what's happening, why Batman is behind or trying to chase this person who's killing people on holidays. Entonces, they're setting up the second part to be like... donde va a pasar la acción, donde va a pasar todo, ¿me entiendes? I think they have more liberty because the budget is less. Acuérdate que una película live action tiene...
I think the requirements. The budget is less, but it's more so the requirements. They don't have to think about too much like locations and setting up equipment like that.
Que si el CGI, que si podemos grabar en el Gran Cañón, no se puede, pues hay que girar el estudio, entonces hay que gastar mitad del budget se va a ir porque el CGI es bien complicado, mano.
You're not dealing with, you know, cut here and there. It's more voiceover, so they only need to modulate the movement to the voices
y
of the script.
Se pueden enfocar más en las historias.
Yeah.
En un live action, I just really think que maybe they're just thinking about, vamos a hacer este flashy sequence. Porque ponte a ver los fight sequences, no solamente del DC, de películas de acción. Cada película tiene un slow-mo. Cada película tiene un mega fight. Cada película tiene un I'm getting my power situation. Y qué sé yo.
There was, even in the film, hasta en la serie ahora mismo de What If, there were so many things that the Captain Carter did that Steve Rogers in the films didn't do, because there is an ability to actually show full potential of the power without forcing CGI and making it look a little bit fake. It's the freedom.
Yep.
It's the freedom that you get. So yeah. Anyway, Suicide Squad.
It's a good movie. I enjoyed it.
It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I laughed.
I'm excited for Peacemaker now on HBO Max. Because I was thinking, like, I don't know about Peacemaker, pero John Cena, he really surprised me in this film. Y, mano, it's a good film. Give it a chance. The thing is that, otra cosa con Suicide Squad, it's the same thing with Zack Snyder. There are people that are not fans of Zack Snyder that don't like his style, so they're not going to like Justice League.
And they're not going to let him
Igual
be
con
liked.
James Gunn es lo mismo. Si es un director que tiene un particular style que no te apela personalmente, porque el opening sequence de Suicide Squad para mí es uno de los mejores, pero it's a sequence that I saw y yo dije, mano, this sequence is not gonna set it's not gonna set well with some people. ¿Tú me entiendes? No a todo el mundo le va a gustar cómo empieza esta película, porque es bien brusca, es bien a veces hasta innecesariamente gory o ¿cómo se dice? Morbosa, ¿me entiendes? Y yo entiendo que es Suicide Squad y todo eso, pero hay gente que va a ver esa primera escena que de cantazo así es que empieza la película y they're gonna check out. So you have to see it from that perspective.
This is something that's interesting.
¿Qué dice?
Él dice, nah, budget is not the issue here. It was said that executive of Warner Brothers didn't know anything about DC, for example, and it is a true story that you can find on the internet. The executives of WB said that so
they don't
Snyder
destroy.
Do not destroy Man of Steel, Superman's spaceship, because he is going back to his planet at one point. Now that is shocking.
Bro,
like,
Superman.
His planet was destroyed.
That's not the thing. Superman flies.
No, that's not the thing. Because he can fly, but he will take an eternity to go to his planet. But his planet was destroyed when he was born. Remember? That's the story. Like, Krypton is destroyed.
¿Verdad? Es que pensé que lo destruyera. Está bien. Es que lo pensé de otra forma.
Yeah.
Como que they were saying, ay, necesito la nave para move around y que se
No. he can. Yeah.
Esa gente no ha visto Castlevania. Uf.
Yeah, that's like, wow. Oh, God.
Yeah. Pero.
Anyway.
Yo creo que...
I got you.
Yeah. Yo creo que hasta aquí...
Aquí llegamos, mi gente.
This first episode of Catching Up with the Universe. Thank you to everybody that was here. We hope that you guys found this new format of the podcast entertaining, pero a la misma vez enlightening.
Sí.
Porque eso es lo que estamos... eso es lo que estamos tratando de como que incorporar un poco más y... Just
making it more flowing, conversational entre ustedes. Y si se dieron cuenta, like, part of the topics fueron tocados because you guys just put them there.
Exacto.
And then we continued.
Exacto.
So we went with what you guys put there. So, like, we might have something to talk about, pero siempre está ahí. Y we're going to try and keep it within an hour to an hour and 30 minutes, not too long. Like, before, we get, like, 2 to 3 hours. Y puede ser de gaming, puede ser de movies, puede ser our own life experiences,
claro.
Los topics, cosas así. And, you know, topics are going to change. So, cada vez que usted entre, every time you guys come into, you know, Catching Up with the Universe, which is going to be bi-weekly, you just get a surprise of what are we going to talk about today. It could be anything. It could be what we watched. It could be a life experience, something that happened.
Yeah.
Sabe todo lo que pasa.
Sí.
You know, I was going to talk about probably Yu-Gi-Oh! About how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Pero we're going to leave that into...
Eso va a ser un episodio especial de 4 horas de John Rosado.
No, not like that. No.
Pero thank you to everybody who was here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this first episode of Catching Up with the Universe. We're going to be back in 2 weeks talking about what we saw in the week, life experiences, etc. If you guys are interested, you can follow us at The Legacy Universe. We are live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, unless our schedule changes. And you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube under The Legacy Universe. Also, this podcast will be available on different audio forms. I will send you guys the information and announce it officially on all of our social media. Así que muchas gracias. Se cuidan. Buenas noches. Y nos vemos el viernes, que vamos a estar jugando Dead by Daylight para celebrar el viernes 13. Así que, thank you guys. Take care. Be safe. Y see you soon.
Check it out. Ashley has a superpower.